Hello, welcome my dear learners. I am Dr. Mohammad Tanveer from Institute of Advanced Studies in Education, Jamia Millia Islamia. For this session, our topic is learning strategies for an inclusive classroom. In the previous video, we learnt about the diversity in unity and unity in diversity of Indian society, which should be reflected in the Indian education system. We talked about the constitutional provisions for equality and justice to all people of India, irrespective of caste, class, creed, religion, language group, etc. etc. So, you also learned that students from different groups may come in our class with their own problems, as well as we teachers have to serve them and ensure the equality of educational success to all of them. We learn about the different ways and considerations which we should be following while dealing with those problems of those students. In other words, we learned skills required for the inclusive education setup. In this video, in this session, we will go in deep with the philosophy of inclusion, some inclusive educational practices and strategies to ensure inclusive learning environment. So, after completing this lesson, you should be prepared to describe the philosophy and practice of inclusive education for children, and you should be able to describe the strategies to ensure inclusive learning environment. Now let's start with what is inclusion, or is inclusion a philosophy? Inclusion is a philosophy. Inclusion is a mindset. Inclusion is a conviction that every person has the right to enjoy equal opportunities and live with equal dignity, irrespective of how different they are from others in any group they belong to. The philosophy of inclusion goes beyond physical inclusion and incorporates a system of basic values and beliefs that promote the participation and sense of belonging of everyone, of every member in the group. Hence, you can make inclusive education a reality in your class only and only when you have the conviction and belief in inclusive educational practice. Now let's see what are those inclusive practices, inclusive educational practices. Let us see what inclusion in education. Let's see it more closely. Inclusion is a process to bring all students together in one classroom and one school, regardless of their strength or weaknesses in any area, and it seeks to maximize the potential of all students. It's a process where diversity in a group with respect to any aspect is appreciated and in which everyone is recognized and respected for his or her worth. It's an effort to make sure that diverse learners, with those with disabilities, challenges, those having different languages and cultures, different home and family lives, different interests and ways of learning, are taught using teaching learning strategies adapted to individual learning needs. It's a process that allows every individual to feel accepted, valued and safe. An inclusive community consciously evolves to meet the changing need of its members through recognition and support. An inclusive community provides meaningful involvement and equal access to the benefit of citizenship. It is a means of enhancing the well-being of every member of the community. Inclusive education actually differs from the previously held notion of integration and mainstreaming. Integration and mainstreaming tended to be concerned principally with disability and special educational needs, and implies learner changing or becoming ready for or deserving of accommodation by the mainstream. But the assumptions behind inclusive education is quite different. Let's see what are those assumptions of inclusive education. Assumptions of inclusive education are opposite to integrated education. Inclusive education assumes that changes the system to fit the child, not changes in the child to fit the system. It is essential to address all type of individual needs, not just only disability or challenges. Teachers and schools are held responsible for children's learning. It focuses on flexibility of curriculum, teacher training, and changes in environment. Failure is the problem with the system, not with the child, is the punchline of this inclusive setup. It is quite essential to assume that all children can learn and that all children need their learning to be supported in diverse way. In this model of inclusive education, it is not the child but the education system which is seen as a problem. Therefore, it is the system with all its components which should be changed, modified, made flexible through enough to accommodate the diverse need of all learners, including children with disabilities. Let's discuss what are the inclusive learning environment strategies. The teaching learning process is an inherently social act, and as instructor we need to be mindful of the quality of the social and emotional dynamics of our course because they impact learning and performance. There are a number of strategies instructor can implement to create a productive and inclusive climate around them. For example, examine your own assumptions. It's very common for instructor to assume that the children share their own background. Not always true. This is not necessarily so. Do you find yourself addressing a student as if they all share your religion? As if they all share or they all come from the same socio-economic class? They all share the same life experiences, etc., etc. Obviously, they are diverse in all those. So, their needs are, their understanding, their personality are diverse. The next thing you can do is learn and use students' names. Even in larger class, you can start with a few names and build up. At the very least, let a student know that you are making an active effort to do so. Addressing a person with his name has a charming effect. Next, model inclusive language. For instance, avoid using masculine pronouns for both male and female, or a feminine pronoun for both male and female, or if you are using the contextual word or the contextual term which are known to a specific group of person also, then you should explain those terms, you should explain those words, their meaning to all those children who do not belong to that group. Use multiple and diverse examples. Your example should not be concentrated around one culture or one group or one type of person or one way of learning only. Multiple examples increase the likelihood of students relating to at least one of them. At least the student will catch one. Take care, include examples that speak to both sexes and that work across cultures. Establish ground rules for interactions. This will assure that other students are also being inclusive and respectful. In order to generate maximal buy-in into the ground rules, you can involve the student in the process of establishing them. You will still need to enforce the ground rules and correct students for the occasional non-inclusive or disrespectful comments. You should examine your curriculum. Are certain perspectives systematically not represented in your course material, in your textbook you are using? For example, a course on family focusing only on traditional families, or a course on public policy ignoring the caste issues, ignoring the race issues, ignoring the minority. Neglecting some issues implies a value judgment which can alienate certain group of students. Always strive to be fair especially in course with multiple sections, it is crucial to be perceived as fair, both in grading and in implementing course policies. Perceptions of unfairness can induce feeling of learned helplessness, which are highly demotivating for students. Be mindful of low ability cues. In their effort to help students, some instructor inadvertently send mixed message. These cues encourage attribution focused on permanent, uncontrollable cause, which diminish students' self-efficacy. Instead, it's more productive to focus on controllable cause, such as the fault. Do not give emphasis to uncontrollable cause. Always highlight those factors which are controllable, which could be worked upon, such as the time you need to give to your study. This could be chalked out. You can increase the time or decrease the time. The effort you put in studies, you can increase or decrease. It's in your hand. You can control it. Do not attribute anything to something which is uncontrollable. Again, be mindful of low abilities cues. We have discussed it. Now, like provide accommodation for students with disabilities also. Instructors are required by law to provide reasonable accommodation to students with documented disabilities, or the objective of RTE cannot be fulfilled without taking care of this. Don't ask people to speak for an entire group. The person may not be the representative of the group. Students of underrepresented identities often report their feeling invisible in the class. While mentioning the festivals, you counted only the festivals of majority, ignoring the festivals of minority. This gives a long-lasting impression on the students from minorities. Or sticking out like a sore thumb as a token member. They develop such feeling. This experience is heightened when they are addressed as a spokespeople for their whole group and can have implications on performance also. This has been given by studies like Lord and Sins studies. Now, practical inclusive classroom behaviors. We should focus on it. Practical inclusive classroom behaviors. Of course, we as educators are not out into intentionally exclude anybody from educational experiences. However, many researchers has reported that a small unconscious behaviors like microaggression that certain students group experiences repeatedly. For instance, women report that instructors tend to interrupt them more often than men. Sometimes girls get ignored, or the instructor deliberately either ignore them more often or engage them more often. The same can happen with the boys. Also, like the instructor may call on them less often, ask them more to recall questions and less analytical questions, acknowledge their contribution less and build on their answers less. When you chalk down the answers, never ignore anyone's answer if it is right. These microaggressions add up and have a highly discouraging effect on those students if they fail and pick it up. Now, how can you be a better inclusive teacher? What are those things? These are we have discussed already, but in your pedagogy, what can you do to be a better inclusive teacher? In your pedagogy subjects, you may have studies a lot of teaching learning approaches and methods and strategies and all those things. I'm just cherry picking some of them which are useful in making your classroom inclusive, or which are useful if you practice them to be a better inclusive teacher. Strategies like, or the approaches like methods like team teaching, peer tutoring, cooperative learning, language learning, multi-sensory approach, task analysis, modifying materials and activities to be adaptable to all, to be accepted by all, word analysis skills. So these are the different skills, these are the different teaching learning methods, these are the different content transactions methods which helps or which are very effective for everyone to learn. In any other session or in any other video, we will discuss one by one each of these things, or maybe you have learned it in your pedagogy classes. With these words, let me thank you for being the part of this session. Thank you.